Good evening, Kiev. Can you hear me?
So, stage is yours.
Well, thank you very much for having me the International NFT Day in Ukraine. It's very, very special to be here. And so, yeah, I thought I might get started with a presentation that I put together. Really about, actually, no, first things first. Let's share my screen, 2 seconds, and go to the first slide. I hope everyone has voted in the CryptoKitties International NFT Day beauty pageant, which we've been holding to commemorate International NFT Day. So what the idea is here is that you have to vote for the cat that you think is going to win the competition. It's not necessarily the cat that you think is going to, that you like the most, that you think is the most beautiful. It's actually more a competition around voting for the kitty that you think is going to win, which I think gives some good indications about the game of CryptoKitties as a whole. So why are we in International NFT Day in the first place? Well, it all comes down to someone that I work with called Dapper. And he created this EIP on the 22nd of September 2017. Not quite the 20th, never mind, it's close enough. And this was the proposal for the 721 standard. And later on in this thread, he would go on to discuss every programmer's favorite bike shedding vortex, naming things. And it's actually in this thread that he came up with the title NFT, which is what we all use today. And so I think that that does give CryptoKitties a pretty good a pretty good claim to the fact that they are the first NFT, or at least they're the first NFT to call themselves an NFT, if you understand the nuance there. So a very, very quick overview of CryptoKitties and when they launched. They launched in 2017, about 2 months after. They launched about 2 months after the EIP was proposed by Dapper. But they do differ in certain ways to most other NFTs that have come ahead of them. One of the key ways that they differ is that they don't have set approval for all, and they don't have get token URI in their contracts. They actually have a method called get kitty, which sadly didn't become a standard within the EIPs that followed. But what get kitty allows you to do, and I think it's very interesting because there's a lot of gameplay in the way that CryptoKitties work. And one of the ways that they work is if you ask for the get kitty, you get various things about this kitty, such as what its ID number is and who it's siring with at the moment, when it's born. These are all the metadata that are on chain. But here's my favorite one, the gene string down at the bottom. What the gene string allows you to do is actually decode what your cat looks like straight from the chain. So I won't get into this in too much detail, but these are the steps that you need to take your kitty's genes, and then you have to turn it into a base 10 number that looks a little bit like that. You then have to prepend some zeros, we'll skip that part. You then have to divide it into 48 times 5 character chunks and reverse their order, and also divide into groups of 4. And that's what gives you the 12 attributes of a CryptoKitty, with each of the attributes being this 11, 14, 3, 6, 6, 6. Those are the ones that you see. And these ones here are what players often refer to as recessive traits, and those can sometimes get passed down to cats and sometimes not get passed down to cats, but that's kind of the gameplay with how CryptoKitties works. So with so for the website, what we then do is we take that up, we style it up, and the final step is a gorgeous CryptoKitty. And this one is actually Kitty 3001, which is the first ever CryptoKitty that was born by a player. So very quickly, for those that don't know how the game works, there are 50,000 top limit Gen 0 CryptoKitties which were released by Dapper Labs. They were actually released on something called the Kitty Clock every quarter of an hour, I think it was, on a Dutch auction basis, where the next cat will go on at, I think, 1.5 times the sale of the Gen 0 before it. However, those Gen Zeros can all make kitties, and those kitties can make kitties, but Gen Zero kitties don't have parents, and that's kind of just a crucial way about how CryptoKitties works. It's sometimes perceived as a game that has a supply issue, because there's no top limit on how many CryptoKitties can be made. But I sometimes like to underline the fact that actually, well, no, with Gen Zeros, there is a top limit. There's 50,000 that have written into the contract. And if you're interested, Dapper Labs have actually only released 38,000. So there's still 12,000 Gen Zeros technically. A final point that I make about the gene string that sometimes it gets forgotten about in all the sort of NFT bonanza that's followed is that actually it was a secret, this gene string. How it worked was a secret. People were breeding cats together, but with no real idea of how the underlying mechanism actually worked. It was actually decoded by a player, Kaigani, about 2 weeks after the game's launch. And I mean, to be honest, how he worked this out, I'll never understand. Luckily, there's actually just decent JavaScript models to work out what a cat needs to look like. But somehow he reverse engineered what the gene string was using decryptographic methods. So how did I get involved? Well, I first heard about them, like a lot of people, by this story that came out in December 2017, where the game went so viral and was so popular that the Ethereum blockchain just got clogged. There's some good stories on precisely what happened, but there was a big backlog of transactions because everyone was making cats have sex with each other and making new cats and buying new cats off each other and just actually for the first time, I think, really having fun on the blockchain as opposed to just kind of exchanges and things like that. When I heard about the game, all these foxes and kitties and all of this sort of stuff, well, the implications really did strike me that, well, wow, here's a game where the people who've made the game, they don't care about what my name and address is. They don't care what age I am. They don't care about my credit card details, any of this stuff, or any of these kind of modern privacy concerns that we have, which when you kind of present the issues that these funny little cats raised, I thought that they were raising some really quite fundamental issues around kind of just how game developers can actually come together and make games, but not really have... Well, I'm sure no one in this room needs to hear the virtues of decentralization, but I really did fall in love straight away. And I decided that I was going to really start seeing what I could do from a development perspective with CryptoKitties. And I also treated myself to quite a lot. And to that end, I came up with a brand, which is Kitty.International. Hello, I'm the proud owner of about 500 CryptoKitties, 3 chained horse and a 2-bit bear. And Kitty International, funnily enough, in the modern sort of PFP era, everyone's sort of naming themselves after things, and Kitty International isn't so much a person, it's kind of meant to be a brand. I decided that I was going to build almost like the Fabergé of CryptoKitties, if you like, the place to come and get the very, very, very best CryptoKitties you could. And I just loved it, and I was having a lot of fun with it. And to that end, I put together a website called Kitty.Family. Kitty.Family shows you your CryptoKitties family tree. And it can also show you your grandparents and your great-grandparents as well. This is just a Gen 1 kitty, though, so it's only got 2 Gen 0 CryptoKitties, which... And I also built a site called Kitty.News, which is a block explorer that's meant to present CryptoKitties as a newspaper site, if you like. So really, it just meant that I was having a lot more fun on the blockchain, and a lot more fun than I was having 6 months prior to bumping into CryptoKitties on the blockchain. You know, where I was really excited about crypto, and I was really excited about all the different things that Bitcoin and Ethereum were going to open up in the dev community. But it was these little, funny little cats which really gave them a lot of colour to me. And so wind forward to about June 2018, Poopy got in touch, Poopy who went on to found Doodles. And he got in touch and just said, "Hey Jack, check your wallet." And because I'd made these contributions to the Kittyverse, they sent me the Furlin that you guys have been using for the PR on this presentation. And so I thought I'd kind of make the story around, my journey in NFTs and just really how, if you've ever fancied developing in crypto, I really would put CryptoKitties as something forward as fun, decentralized, and great little characters to work with if you're a game developer as well. And it wasn't just me. A lot of these brands that we have gone on to be absolutely huge, they actually started off life as CryptoKitties players. Axie Infinity, for example, Jiho's, he's got many CryptoKitties, and that's how we bumped into. That's how I met him, and also OpenSea, Dan from OpenSea. It's not very well known, but actually OpenSea's first and only project when it launched was CryptoKitties. Doodles, of course, was founded by a community member, community manager, Poopy, Jordan Castro, and he left Dapper Labs in 2021 to go on to create Doodles. But that was about 6 months after hiring me. So I worked with Jordan for about 6 months, and I've been working on the CryptoKitties website ever since. And really, it's just been an absolute joy and a pleasure to work on it. It's really just brings so much fun to so many people. It inspires a lot of people as well. And the gamification of the website, games have to evolve. And so for the final part of my presentation, what I wanted to do is show something that hasn't been shown before. It's going to be a premiere for the NFT Ukraine event. And it's a new game that we've created, which is called, let me just find it. Here we are. It's called Who's Your Daddy? Right, so here's what happens in Who's Your Daddy. There's a cat is going to display when this timer counts down, and underneath here is going to be a list of CryptoKitties. So here's the one that won the last round. The one that is the one that was the sire of this CryptoKitty. And it's a new multiplayer game that we're going to be launching later on today to celebrate International NFT Day. So I hope if you get a chance later on, you can come along and play the game. You don't even need CryptoKitties to play, so you can just hop on and see if you can work out. All right, here we go. There's a round just starting now. So this is actually the first ever round of Who's Your Daddy. I'm going to go, which one do you think? Going to go that one. Yes, I won. I won, so it's basically a race. So I was the only player there, so as long as I got the answer right, I was always going to win. So I hope that gives you an introduction to CryptoKitties. Thank you ever so much for having me on to your event today. And I think that wraps it up for my presentation.
Wow. Any question to Jack?
Yeah, I'm fan also of Crypto Zombies who eat CryptoKitties, so I know your product. Could you explain what is the difference between generations? Gen 0, Gen 1, Gen 2, and why Gen 8 and Gen 9 so cheap?
Yeah, I can explain that. So, as I briefly touched on in the talk, Gen 0 kitties are, they're released by Dapper. They're the ones that are essentially minted. So like most NFT projects that have 10K limits, but unlike most 10K projects, CryptoKitties can actually breed together. So if you have two kitties in a wallet, they can breed together, and the kitty that they breed will be +1 of the highest gen of the pair that bred. So if two Gen 0 cats breed together, they will have a Gen 1 cat. If a Gen 6 and a Gen 7 cat breed together, they will have a Gen 8. And then final example, if a Gen 0 and a Gen 100 breed together, they'll have a Gen 101. Does that cover that part of the question?
Yep.
And the other part of the question, well, a Gen 8, well, there can be some expensive Gen 8 sometimes. There's the Gen 8, for example, that is a diamond Gen 8, which will be the first type of any trait. So part of the game was to actually find genes within the game that hadn't existed before. And if you do that, you get what we refer to as a diamond. So yeah, the diamond kitty, you can probably find some Gen 8s within the diamonds. Yeah, there's one for about 12 ETH there. So they can still be quite expensive sometimes.
Okay, thank you. So Jack, thank you to join us in this day, International NFT Day. And one more, Jack, warm regards from the Kyiv. Thank you, bro.
Thank you very much for having me. See you soon, I hope.
I'ma kick back when you fake.